What's up, everybody? So this is a Vanquish Soul deck. No, what's it called? Yeah, Vanquish Soul deck, and so far it's gotten me to Platinum rank. And if I duel enough times, and I duel consistently enough, I could get Platinum 1 with this. So this is a deck profile, then I'll go ahead and do a duel. I'd say it wins maybe 7 out of every 10 duels, but it's pretty consistent. You just kind of get the advantage, and you normally could win within 5 turns. If you're lucky, you can win within 3 turns. So let's first do the main deck. So Maxi, everyone knows what Maxi does. Reason why it's in this deck is because it's an Earth card and you get some draw power. And next would be 3 Ash Blossoms. We have this because it is a fire card. Next up is Ghost Bell. We have it because it's an Earth card. Now for the important card, Vanquish Soul Raisin, or Razin? Raisin? I don't know. So it's a fire monster. So now I'm going to go into what this deck kind of focuses on, and how you can actually do some combos, and what's the whole purpose of the deck. So basically you'll need fire, earth, and dark monsters, and that's what the Vanquish Soul monsters consist of, including the Link monster. It's a dark monster, but we'll get to that later. So Vanquish Soul Raisin will be the main card that you always want to play every turn, because it's a search card. You can literally search for any monster. You can also activate a quick effect, which is this card cannot be destroyed by card effects this turn if you have a fire monster in your hand. Or you can activate the secondary effect, which is fire and dark cards in your hand, one of each, and you can destroy all monsters in that column. So you pretty much want to occupy your the extra zone with this, and then you want to put Vanquish Soul Raisin in the opposite extra monster zone. So next up is Vanquish Soul Panthera. I run 2 of these because I don't have any other way to destroy spells and traps. This is an earth monster, and its special effect is if you have no monsters in the main monster zone, you can special summon it. And its secondary effect is this card cannot be destroyed by battle if you have an earth monster in your hand. Or you can activate the earth and fire one, which is destroy all spells and traps in this card's column. That is including your side as well, so just remember that. 2 of those is pretty sufficient. Earth monsters are, let's see, so far it is Maxi, Ghost Bell, and the Vanquish Panthera. Next up is the more important search cards. So this will search your spells and traps the moment it is normal or special summoned. So it helps thin out the deck. It'll search for your magic and spells that are Vanquish Soul related. The secondary effect is you can... Actually, it doesn't even target. So if you have a dark monster in your hand, you can deduct 500 attack or defense from a face-up monster your opponent controls, and a dark and earth, return 1 monster with the lowest defense on the field to the hand. So this kind of plays in... it can negatively affect the situation, but the best thing about this is that it does not target any monsters, so that's even better. And the majority of the monsters have decent defense, so that's also a good thing. For example, this guy has 1500, this guy's got 1900, that dude had 2000. So there's that. One thing you want to be careful is monsters getting banished. So I got 2 artifact Lencias. It basically, during your opponent's turn, if this card is destroyed, you can special summon it. But during your opponent's turn, it's a quick effect. You can tribute this card from your hand or face-up field. Neither player can banish cards for the rest of this turn. So that helps. You could run 1 of these or 2 of these, or if you find another way that stops monsters from being banished, I would recommend doing at least 2 of those cards, whatever they may be, because that's the one thing this deck is, that's the weakness of this deck, getting your monsters banished. Next up is Vanquish Soul, Yugioh. It's a really good card, very underrated, but I run 2 of them because they are fire. So if you reveal a card in your hand, that means you can special summon this card. And it's got high attack, decent defense, and if you have a fire monster when this is on the field, you can change the battle position of 1 monster on the field. So you can change something to face up attack, or you can change something to face down defense. And it helps if you have, let's say, a monster that if someone's about to fusion or something like that, you can pop it face down. The secondary effect is also very powerful. If you got 2 fire monsters, you can add a Vanquish Soul card from the deck to the hand, except itself. So you can literally search your spells, traps, or monsters. Next up, I don't use this as much, but it's a free summon basically during your opponent's turn. If you control no monsters, you can special summon this. If you have a fire monster in your hand, it gains 3000 defense. If you have a Darken Earth in your hand, it gains 3000 attack until the end of the turn. Next up is basically the secondary card you're going to be using. As literally every turn you have to use this card. So you can, the way this works, I'll try to dumb it down here, is let's say you just normal summon Vanquish Soul Raisin, you search for Vanquish Soul Heavy Burger, so now that's in your hand, and Heavy Burger's effect is you can literally target 1 non-Vanquish Soul or non-machine monster and return it to your hand, and if you do, you special summon this card. Boom, right? So it's like a swap. The secondary effect is the most used part of this entire deck and process of it. So you could either draw if you have a dark, but the main thing is earth and fire. If you have that, you can inflict 1500 damage to your opponent, and you pretty much want to do that every turn. That's why I run 3 of those, and those are dark monsters. Next up is 1 Lava Golem. You contribute 2 monsters on your opponent's side of the field, get rid of them, and then every standby phase they take 1000 damage. So every time they draw, they basically take 1000 damage. So if you add that together, that's 2500 in the span of like 2 turns. Next up is the Kaiju, the Mad Flame Kaiju. Run 2 of those just to get rid of anything kind of stubborn there. And I run 2 Vanquish Soul Kaiser Valius. Does the same thing as Soul Heavy Burger, so you can swap out a monster, right? That's the first effect. Second effect is if you have an earth in your hand, it's unaffected by your opponent's cards the rest of the turn. But if you have an earth, fire, and dark, you could activate destroy 1 other card on the field, and it doesn't target. Normally you're going to be wanting using earth, which is the face-up card, is unaffected by anything this turn. And it's 3000 beater, it's earth, so that's good. Last, you don't have to have this in there. You could swap it out for anything you want, but I run 1 Primal Being. It basically, if your opponent summons 5 or more monsters this turn, you can tribute as many face-up monsters on the field as possible, and if you do, special summon it from the hand. I'm sure you guys should know what that does. So anyways, 1 Monster Reborn, 1 Reinforcements of the Army. So Stake Your Soul is another important play. Let's say if you haven't drawn Vanquish Soul Raisin, but you have a fire monster, which literally just 1, 2, 3 of these. Let's see, I'll read it here. Reveal a monster in your hand. Special summon one Vanquish monster with the same attribute. So it doesn't have to be a Vanquish Soul. Let's say if you have all these right here, right? These fire monsters, you could use this to special summon Soul Raisin from the deck, and then you can now search another Soul monster to get to your hand. So it's kind of like, to me, I see it as drawing 2 cards and playing 2 cards. Because you want to summon that and then go for Soul Heavy, or if you're missing anything else. And then once this is done, that monster does return to your hand, so that's why I run 3 of those. 2 Called by the Graves. Another underrated card is Soul Dust Devil. So target 1 monster you control, change its battle position, then you can change face-up monsters your opponent controls up to the number of Vanquish Soul monsters you control. So let's say if you have 2 monsters and your opponent has 3 monsters, you can change the battle positions of 2 of the monsters on the opposing side of the field, which does help because you're going to be playing offense and defense in like a rotation, really. Very situational. Next up is Vanquish Soul Continue, which is a kind of strange card, but you pay 500 life points and you target 1 monster in your graveyard, and you can either add it to your hand or you can actually special summon it. You can only activate 1 of these per turn, but it's good because, again, let's say this is in your graveyard, you can special summon that, get another card, or you can get it to your hand if you need a fire, so if things start going into your graveyard, these will come in handy. It's like a monster reborn for like 500 life points, not bad. 2 infinite impermanence. You want to always clutter the extra monster zone, so this kind of will work like Vanquish Soul Raisins. He'll be destroying the monsters, and these will be negating any effects. Now, the next important trap card in this deck is Vanquish Soul Snow Devil. With this, and it's a little bit tricky, but it's very powerful. You can reveal 1 of each Dark, Earth, and Fire monsters in the hand, and then you apply all these effects depending how many those attributes did you reveal. So if you have a Dark, Earth, and Fire monster in your hand, the first one, let's just say if you have a Dark, you can inflict 400 damage to your opponent, then you can special summon a monster from your hand. So here's what I would do if I had that. I would special summon Vanquish Soul, get another monster to my hand, right? That's one of the main things. But if I don't have that, I would probably go for something like the Vanquish Soul Kaiser Valius, right? So let's say if I have Dark and Earth, I would do inflict 600 damage to your opponent. Also, this turn, Vanquish Soul monsters cannot be destroyed by card effects. So you pretty much special summoned, and now no monsters can be destroyed by card effects. And number 2, you inflict 1,000 damage to your opponent. So let's just say this is already turn 3 and you're activating this. They should be at like 4,000 life points if you did everything right? But let's say if you have all 3 of them, the next effect is you inflict 800 damage to your opponent. Then you can destroy all monsters on the field, but it doesn't destroy your monsters because now your Vanquish Soul monsters cannot be destroyed by card effects. But just keep in mind that this does destroy your Link monster. So if you have this on the field, when you activate Vanquish Soul Snow Devil, it does destroy your Link monster. Very underrated, very powerful. I do only run 1 of these. I would run 2, but this is not a burn deck. It definitely is not. Next up, you could run 2 or 3 of these, depending on if you're having trouble with people targeting your monsters, which it's not so much really. I haven't run into that, but it's just a good counter trap. When a opponent spell, trap, or monster targets your card, or sorry, a Vanquish Soul monster, you can negate the activation, and if you do, you can inflict damage to your opponent equal to the attack of 1 Vanquish Soul monster. So let's just say it's turn 3 and you inflicted already like 4,000 life point damage or whatever. You could use this, and let's just say for whatever magical reason they targeted Vanquish Soul, Kaiser Valius. Now you can select this as the monster for this card, and you can inflict 3,000 damage. it's absolutely insane. This card. So I mean, if you want to run a burn deck, you could run 3 of these. You could even run another 3 of these, and just probably burn someone for I don't know how much, but yeah, there is a possible way to make this into a complete burn deck. But I find this very sufficient, especially with the way I play. It works. The extra deck, I haven't really messed around too much with it. So this extra deck, it's all situational. You can totally change it however you want. But this has worked for me, and I really don't play with any other monsters in this extra deck unless I like really need it. All right, so Abyss Dweller, Evil Swarm, Extinction Knight, 1 number 41, 1 Divine Arsenal Zeus. I haven't needed to do that, but that's in there. 3 Rock Vanquishers, which is the important part, so let me break this down for you. It just takes 1 Vanquish Soul monster, and this effect is basically while you control a Vanquish monster, your opponent can only target monsters you control with the highest attack for attacks. So let's say if you have this monster by itself, they can't attack it, but if you have that Link monster and let's say Vanquish Soul Jialong, they would have to attack this monster first, right? Next effect is the most important part of this Link monster. You can special summon a monster from your hand, or you can add a soul monster from your graveyard to your hand. So this kind of rotates a bunch of stuff, and I'll show how the best way to do it. It's kind of like a circus act with that card. Next up, 1 Security Dragon, Nightmare Phoenix, Hit of the Fire Charmer, 1 Masquerena, 1 Nightmare Unicorn, 1 Scareclaw Tryhard. This is super situational because this could work against you, and it could work against you, but it does help you if you are completely in a lopsided duel. This could help. 1 Best Tower of Flames, and 1 Access Code Talker. I don't really make this the end game. I can win with the main deck itself, but those extra cards are there. You could swap them out for anything. There is no little combo with this extra deck or whatever, but you could just win with this main deck. 1 card that I will point out that could potentially make things faster is a Morphin Jar. Both players discard as many cards as possible from their hands, and then you draw 5. So it helps get things in your graveyard, and it helps you get more of a variety in your hand. So let's say if you drew literally, let's say 3 earth monsters and then traps, you could use this, and now you might have a better chance of getting an earth, fire, and dark monster in the hand. And then you can obviously use Rock Vanquisher to get whatever's in that graveyard to your hand. So that is the main deck. So let's do a duel and test this out. Alright, this is try number 4 here. Try number 4. Just dueled 3 times in a row. One duel. So this is numero cuatro. Well, I really hate to use Call of the Grave so early, but sure. Really? You got a response? I was gonna say, you got a response for Call of the Grave? Jeez. Alright, so let's see what we got in here. We got a fire monster In order to destroy other monsters, we need a dark monster. And this one is earth and fire. I'm thinking... let's do... you know what? Let's try to get the spells and traps in the deck a little bit faster, huh? So I will swap this out with the Link monster. I'm gonna take over this side. Now I'm going to he's got a response for that? What card you got in your hands that you can special summon now? Okay. It looked like I can grab one of his cards. Alright. So I'm going to special summon from my hand here. What a response you got! It's my turn! Ah, great. Maxi, huh? No worries, no worries. Let's go face up defense, put that there. Grab, let's go with, yeah, this one here. We'll set, pretend that that's the card I just got, and slap that there, and turn. And next turn we have no choice but to get Vanquish Soul Raisin to the hand, that is. Let's see how this duel goes. Alright, we'll grab that to the hand. Two. Alright, let's see what that is. You can ritual summon with ritual summon before during your draw phase. Before you draw, you can reveal this card in your hand. Give okay, your opponent can activate cards or effects during your battle phase. When this attacking card, you can shuffle all cards. Oh heck no! You gotta stop that right there. I'm gonna activate. Yep. Send it to the what? What? Well, now we ain't got nothing in our hands. Or on the field, should I say? Great. Yeah, right. What ended up with these doors lately? Not a clue, man. Not an actual clue. Alright, so we drew. And this is not a bad hand. Not bad at all. We can normal summon Soul Raisin. We got Giant Lawn just in case. But normal or special, we can do the search for a card. So we'll search for. Apparently there was a response to that. We're trying to see what. Oh, okay, no response. So we'll grab Soul Heavy. And you could have put it in the column and destroyed a monster with Soul Raisin, but did not do that here. So no worries at all. We'll swap out for the Link monster. Now remember, once you pick your side with your Link monster, you kind of gotta stick with that side. Alright, best way to get rid of Stubborn Monster is to use that Kaiju. And again, it's a fire monster, so that's also a bonus. And this could happen a lot where your field is empty. Which is a-okay because you can always special summon on your opponent's turn. So getting cards in your hand is sometimes more important than having cards summoned. Hopefully that makes sense, but that's just the way this deck works. You want to have Earth, Fire, and Dark monsters in your hand because that's the majority of requirements for activated abilities from the monsters. Now there is a strange technicality where Blackluster Soldier targets my Link monster, and I got that trap that can negate an activation that targets a Vanquish monster. I think there's some weird technicality where it has to be like a regular monster and not like a Link monster. So that's why Soul Calamity didn't work. I even looked at the card there thinking, okay, but it actually will be okay because now I can still summon This because the Link Monster has a quick effect. And I can activate the Destroy All Monsters in the column by revealing one Dark, one Fire. So that's that. Dun, dun, dun. And I still get the search of an Earth Monster. So I'm going to grab the boss card, which is Soul Kazar. Alright, so now we'll activate this to pop the column. Then we'll swap Vanquish Soul Heavy for this one. Oh, great. And diddly-tastic. Well, we got this, though. Shaboom. Counter. And yeah, we'll go ahead and inflict the damage of that one. Nice, nice. And we'll also use this effect here for 1500. Nice. And let's see. Change the battle position of a monster on the field. Maybe we could technically special summon this. Why not? I don't see why not at all. Face up defense. And we'll leave it at that for now. And turn. Battle phase, what? I don't think this card can attack the... Yeah, he activated the banish thing, so... Shouldn't be able to attack. Alright, well, that didn't help, but we still got, let's see, Earth, yep, always activate this effect, inflict another 1500. What the heck response is he? What the, okay. I don't have anything stronger than 3k, so I'm gonna have to put that into defense mode. Show that. Any, mini, money, moo. Any, mini, money, moo. Let's just try this for now. We'll get a dark monster. Should we? Sure. Yeah, just missing one dark monster, or missing. We do need a earth monster actually. Alright, well. Special summon, right? I don't want anything to the hand, do I? No, I don't. This should work. This literally should... Wait, to the... Oh, no, I did the wrong one. No biggie. No biggie. No biggie at all. Gonna swap that out. Can we end it with the boss monster? Battle phase. Let's see. Does the attack go through? Survey says it does. All right. There you go. I mean, that was a kind of lopsided duel, but that's pretty much the combos that you will run into. Want to get... Let's go back here. Want to get Vanquish Soul Raisin on the field. Search for Vanquish Soul Heavy Burger. And use his burn damage of 1500. And hey, if you can combo it with Vanquish Soul Snow Devil or Vanquish Soul Calamity K-Star, you know, that'll also give you more battle damage, or, you know, effect damage. And yeah, it works efficient, but I just dueled 4 times in a row, lost 2 because I didn't draw enough. And the third match, pretty sure I was going to win it, but it was a connection failure, and then this one was the one that I won. So, yeah, it's a 40 card deck, nice and crisp 40 card deck. If anything, I mean, you could swap out, again, your Infinite Impertinence for something, or if you have something that can stop opponents from or banishing stuff, because that's the #1 weakness with this deck. If things start to get banished, or if you're not drawing enough, then, you know, you can always swap out for things like that. But that's what the back's for. Max C for draw power. You know, you got your Soul Raisin for your searching. You got reinforcements that will only search for Soul Raisin. So if you're not drawing this, you can always use this. And if you're not drawing it, you can always get Stake Your Soul. But always get what you're missing in your hand, and this should work just fine. Don't forget to like, comment, and smash the like button, unless you already did that part. But alright, hope you guys enjoyed that video. More Yu-Gi-Oh videos next week.